"You're too old to manage money," my grandson said, his words dripping with that false concern young folks use when they think they're being kind. He thought I had nothing left, that I was just a frail old woman scraping by on scraps. He didn't know I had an account, one he'd never seen, one that would wipe that smug look right off his face. My name is Marianne, and at 79 years old, I've lived a life full of quiet victories and hidden strengths. I've been a widow for 15 years now, ever since my husband, George, passed from a heart attack too sudden to prepare for. We built a modest life together, he as a mechanic, me as a school teacher for over 30 years, shaping young minds with lessons on history and resilience. I've always prided myself on independence, living in our cozy little house on the edge of town, tending my garden, baking pies for the neighbors. My finances, I handle them myself, always have. I'm frugal, careful with every dollar, because I learned early that money isn't just paper, it's security, freedom. My grandson, Evan, he's 26, fresh out of college with a fancy marketing job in the city. He visits sporadically, always with that air of superiority, like his youth makes him wiser. He sees me as grandma, sweet but outdated, someone who needs help because age has supposedly dulled my edges. But what he doesn't know is that I've got savings tucked away from my teaching days, a secret account I started 32 years ago when George and I decided to plan for the unexpected. It's grown quietly, like a well-tended vine, through interest and smart choices. I've never told the family. It's my safety net, my proof that I'm still in control. This all started innocently enough, or so I thought. But the slights built up like storm clouds, each one darker than the last. Evan showed up unannounced one crisp autumn afternoon, his sleek car pulling into my driveway like he owned the place. "Grandma," he said over tea in the kitchen, "I've been thinking. You're getting on in years, maybe it's time I helped with your money. You know, to keep you safe from scams." Safe? I'd managed our household budget through recessions, paid off the mortgage early, even invested a bit in bonds back in the 90s. But he leaned in, eyes wide with feigned worry. "Old folks like you get targeted all the time. Let me handle it." I smiled politely, but inside, it stung. "I'm fine, dear. I've got it under control." He didn't let up. Over the next visit, he started probing, asking about my bank statements, suggesting I was forgetful lately. "You misplaced your glasses last week, remember? What if it's money next?" Misplaced? I'd set them down intentionally. It felt like he was planting seeds of doubt, making me question my own sharpness. Then came the house talk. "Grandma, that old place is a lot to maintain. Maybe transfer the deed to me? I could sell it later, invest the money for you." Sell my home, the one George and I built our memories in? His intentions peeked through greed masked as care. The real betrayal hit when I noticed my desk drawers slightly ajar after he left one day. Rifling through, I found my bank papers shuffled, some photocopied subtly. He'd been snooping, checking my balances without asking. My main account showed a modest few thousand my everyday funds. But that night, over the phone, he pushed harder. "Grandma, you only have a few thousand left anyway. Let me handle it, power of attorney, easy peasy." A few thousand? He thought that was all? The dismissal burned, treating me like a child. Assuming age equaled incompetence, his words laced with that subtle hunger for what he saw as easy pickings, the injustices stacked, the patronizing help, the insinuations of senility, the deed grab, the invasion of privacy, and that final belittling of my worth. It wasn't just rude, it was a theft of dignity, assuming I was broke and broken. The turning point came quietly in the solitude of my living room, as I sat with a cup of chamomile, replaying his words. A few thousand left. If only he knew. I rose, my joints protesting but my spirit firm, and went to the old safe in the closet, rusted but reliable, hidden behind winter coats. Inside, faded photos, George's watch, and a small passbook from 32 years ago. A savings account I'd opened secretly after a teaching bonus, adding bits over the years: birthday money, side gigs, tutoring. Compounded interest had worked its magic. Last statement showed nearly $240,000. No one knew, not even my kids back then. It was my independence fund, proof I wasn't too old. I clutched it, whispering, "If he thinks I'm broke, let's see his face when he learns the truth." Revenge? I don't like the word, it sounds vengeful, and I'm not that. Call it a lesson, taught with the patience of a lifelong educator. First, I called my bank the next morning, voice steady. I need a full statement on my savings account, detailed with interest history. The teller, recognizing my name after decades, expedited it. Papers arrived 2 days later, thick, official, showing the growth from humble beginnings to a nest egg that could buy security twice over. I texted Evan, "Come over Sunday. We need to talk finances." He arrived eager, papers in hand, power of attorney forms, no doubt. "Grandma," he started, settling at the kitchen table, "I'm glad you're seeing sense. With your small savings, we can..." I cut him off gently, sliding the stack across. "Take a look, dear." He flipped through, eyes scanning numbers: $5,000 initial deposit, years of accruals, interest compounding quarterly. His face paled as the total hit: $238,456.72. "What? How?" he stammered, flipping pages frantically. "This can't be real." "Oh, it's real," I said calmly. "Started it years ago. George and I planned ahead. You thought I had nothing? That I was too old to manage? Well, now you know." Evan sat stunned, the forms forgotten. The color drained from his cheeks, his confidence crumbling like a poorly built house of cards. The fallout was swift and satisfying, like a well-earned recess after a long class. Evan mumbled apologies. "Grandma, I didn't mean, I was just worried." "Worried? About my money, perhaps?" I nodded, but trust was cracked. "I appreciate the concern, but I've got a lawyer handling things now. No need for your help." His eyes widened. No power of attorney, no deed transfer, no handling my affairs. He left deflated, the wind out of his sails. Word spread through the family grapevine, my daughter called, shocked but proud. "Mum," Evan told us. "Good for you standing up." The grandkids heard. Evan faced teasing at gatherings, his overreach a cautionary tale. He backed off completely, visits polite but distant. No more snooping, no more insinuations. The family rallied around me, respecting my independence more than ever. And my account? It stayed secret no longer, but under my control, with a will drafted by professionals ensuring it went where I wanted, not to the greedy. But the deepest twist came a month later, at a family dinner. Evan pulled me aside, genuine remorse in his eyes this time. "Grandma, I was wrong. I underestimated you." I patted his hand. "We all learn, dear. Age brings wisdom, not weakness." I smiled inwardly. "I'm old, not foolish. Respect doesn't depend on age, but on intentions. And yours? They needed checking. Let me take you deeper into how this all unfolded, because the little details are what made the sting so sharp and the reveal so sweet. Evan's first visit wasn't out of the blue. He'd been dropping hints for months. "Grandma, you still balancing your checkbook by hand? There's apps for that." Innocent enough, but laced with doubt. When he suggested helping with money, it came after I mentioned a small scam call I'd hung up on. "See, you need protection." Protection? I'd spotted the scam miles away. The forgetful jabs escalated. "You told that story twice last visit," he'd say, implying dementia where there was none. It chipped at my confidence, making me second-guess myself. The house deed push? Bold. "It's an asset, Grandma. I could manage it better. Manage code for control." Discovering the rifled papers? Heartbreaking. Staples bent. Pages out of order, he'd photographed my statements, assuming my few thousand was ripe for the taking. His phone call assumption? Crushing. Only a few thousand left. He'd seen my checking account, not knowing about the savings. It painted me as destitute, dependent exactly how he wanted me. Retrieving the passbook? Emotional. Dusting off the safe, seeing George's handwriting on old notes inside it reminded me of our partnership, our foresight. The bank call? Empowering. The teller, Mrs. Ellis, remembered me. "Mrs. Marianne, that account's a beauty, smart moves back then." Hanging Evan? Masterful. His eagerness arriving, forms ready, pen in pocket. The statement drop? Priceless. Pages turning, his calculations failing. "But how did you?" Stammering, exposed. Apologies? Half-hearted at first, but family pressure deepened them. My daughter's call. "Mom, you're a legend." Evan's family ribbing. "Underestimated Grandma, huh?" It humbled him. The twist conversation? Healing. We rebuilt slowly, respect earned. My finances? Ironclad now, lawyer overseeing. The account grew a bit more, symbol of my enduring savvy. Ageism hides in concern, but truth unveils it. If underestimated, reveal your strengths. Respect flows from intentions pure. Here's to hidden accounts and open eyes.